Thanks for joining me today. I'm talking about the Rowan tree, and I've been doing a little series on trees recently, and I've looked at the alder and the elder, and now I'm looking at another one of my favourites, which is the Rowan tree. This is a traditionally very sacred tree, and you can see here, absolutely laden with beautiful berries. I think the berries are one of the ways that we recognise the Rowan tree the best in the autumn, and they turn from this beautiful sort of creamy white colour, beautiful flowers, and turn into these red berries. We'll look a little bit more about why these berries are so significant. You can see an identification of the Rowan tree that you have these leaves here. Now each of these individual, what we think are leaves, are actually leaflets, and they grow along the central stem opposite to each other, and there's a leaf then at the end, and the leaves are serrated. The rowan is also known as the mountain ash. The Latin name is Sorbus acaparia. The ash, because the leaves are very much like an ash leaf, but also because they like to grow up in high areas, so on mountains. They're quite hardy, a bit like the hawthorn. You find the hawthorn growing on high areas that you don't see other trees. You see them growing on sort of windswept areas where the trees are bent over. So the rowan is a smaller tree, it's quite hardy. I love the rowan. I've been working with the rowan for quite a few years now because she's just a beautiful tree. Very grounding, very sacred energies. There's a lot of medicine to do with rowan. The berries, you can see a little berry here I picked up. These are edible, but they're quite bitter because they're astringent. So these were traditionally used and cooked up first and made for jellies and jams. You can actually dry these off, and I gather them and dry them in brown paper bags, and you can decoct them. And they're very good for sore throats, and also if you have an upset stomach, so they kind of tighten things back up again for you. So you can gather these for medicine. They are vitamin rich, so vitamin A, B vitamins, C, mineral rich, full of pectin. They're good for you, so good to incorporate into your diet if you know what to do with them. I like to just be with the rowan tree because I always felt this really lovely energy. I've worked throughout the years with the healing properties of trees, and I've worked through intense meditation with them, and they tend to bring up certain things inside you. This is a tree from experience that helps work with your energy systems, helps to ground you. You think the red of the berries is very much like the root chakra, and known to just bring the energy through the system up to your crown. So raising the energy. It's a tree of power, vitality, strength and courage. This is one to work with if you want to expand your third eye. So for psychic awareness and divination. People in the past recognized that the rowan tree was a sacred tree. They planted this tree at graveyards, and they also planted this tree outside their house to protect them from evil spirits. In the graveyards was to protect the spirits, the spirits that were there. And I have a strong connection with this. Throughout the years I have gathered these berries, and I put them in the house, and I use them as protective force, much like you might place rosemary on your window ledge. People would gather the wood, and they used to make a cross, and they would tie the cross with red thread. This could be carried as an amulet, and they would place the wood outside the front doors, again to ward against evil spirits. We live in a day and age where people don't really connect to trees apart from the fact that we see them as wood or commodities, or a beautiful woodland might make us feel peaceful. Throughout history, people have connected with the trees because they realized that these were essential parts of our survival, because of the medicine, because of the food, and because of the connection to a spirit world that was essential for our well-being. Without the spirit world, we lose something of ourselves, because we are soul. We are not just material in a material world. The trees and nature help us to come back into that sense that this is not just a material, consumer-led world, that we are vitally connected to these beings. Gathering food and making medicines is one way to connect to them. Another way is just to spend time with them and meditate and feel what comes up for you. There are trees that help us to realize things that we need to realize. This one helps us open that third eye area, bring the energy right up. There's a tree of protection to plant outside your front door. And if you have it, honor it and be with her, because she's very beautiful. Now it's mid-September and the seasons are turning. The berries will change. Some will be eaten, some will drop back to the earth. And the trees will go on in their life cycle. The berries themselves, if you have a look here, have a little 5-pointed star on the end. I'm wearing a 5-pointed star here. People sometimes balk at this symbol because they think it's a symbol that's a little bit scary. It's associated with witches, and they think witches are evil because witches were sadly put down by certain challenges throughout history, shall we say. But really these are just women and people working with the earth energies. This is actually one of our most protected symbols, and it's been used across the world for protection against bad energies. Even a sheriff's badge in America is a 5-pointed star. The star is related to Jesus, and as a guiding light, a shining light, the cosmos, heavenly bodies. We can use the star for protection. It's also the 5 elements. For we are made of the elements, and the elements dictate the seasons as well, as the earth turns around the sun. So the star on the Rowan, the red of the berries, remind us of who we are on the planet and of our own journey throughout the year and for our own lives. So taking the time to actually look and observe and feel what you feel helps bring you back into that spiritual sense. For we are more than just this physical world and a world of substance. It's something beyond that, something that helps to move us through. So if you're interested in learning more about trees, I am running some workshops coming up this autumn, working with the healing powers of the trees, the chakras, foraging, lots of the nice things to be in part of. And if you would like to message me or have a look at my website, details are on there. Thank you very much and enjoy autumn.